It's finally time for your 5th class trial. Are you ready, everyone? Then let's get...
Wait a minute, Monokuma.
Jeez, what do you want, Twink?
First of all, rude. Second of all, why aren't there any new portraits?
Yeah, I mean, usually when someone's dead, there's a new portrait, but... there's just empty seats now with the portraits that were here last time.
I believe I can answer that one. You see, the point of this trial is not just to find out who killed the victim. You have to figure out who the victim is.
What? That's basically nearly impossible! And what do you expect us to do once we do figure out the victim? What's gonna happen to the others? Allow me to explain. You see, originally... your first objective is to first identify the victim, which means you must figure out who is dead and who is not. Once you figure out someone isn't dead, you can state your claim on, you may say, if you want to bring them up to the stand, and Dementio will teleport them here.
Oh, so essentially our first goal is to figure out who's dead and who isn't?
Yes, but if you guess the victim too early, we'll be closing off their testimonies.
What do you mean by that? Well, our first idea was that if you couldn't guess everyone who's still alive in time before the victim, then we would just kill them.
You better fucking not! But over deliberation, we'll just keep them in the place we're holding them. And if you get the wrong vote, it sucks to suck.
So we have to get the victim right, or else we will be missing out on a lot of testimony. So we need to be very careful.
Alright. Well, I guess we should start off. We're ready, Monokuma. We're ready, Dementio.
How fucking time.
Well, anyway, let your 5th class trial commence!
Alright, our 5th class trial has begun. What's our first point of discussion? Well, personally, I think we should possibly start off with...
Hold on. Lastly, should we, tell Silver?
Oh, you mean what we figured out? Oh, what? What did you figure out?
Monokuma, if it's not so possible, can we diverge a bit of this trial to, clearing up some stuff from the last case? I guess that wouldn't be a problem, but...
But what's the point? You got the verdict correct. Kirby killed himself.
Yes, we know that, but I think we got his motive, reasoning, and some other stuff wrong in that trial, so... if it wouldn't be a problem, we would like to divulge a bit of your time just to discuss it. I don't have a problem with it. What about you, Dementio?
I don't either. You may discuss. But we won't give you more than just a few minutes. Oh, okay, but guys, what's the point of this? Now, what was the thing we wanted to discuss? I remember! The thing we want to discuss is the identity of the second traitor.
What do you mean by that? It just occurred to us, even after the trial. You never really confirmed if Kirby was the second traitor or not.
Of course we did! We said sure, let's go with that! As in, you were just going along with what we were saying. We don't know if that was correct or not.
You see, that must mean...
that our initial assumption on the second traitor was wrong!
What?
Kirby wasn't the second traitor?
Okay, fine, so what? What if he wasn't the second traitor? We had to make you go along with it. So what does that mean? That means nothing. Doesn't that mean the second traitor's still alive?
You really just opened that one up, didn't you?
Shut up, Dementio! Well, if the second traitor's still alive, then you should know who they are, right? But you don't. So...
actually, we do know who they are. And they're standing in this courtroom right now.
Oh, fuck.
Then say who it is.
Okay. The person the second traitor is... it has to be you. It's you, Silver. You're the second traitor.
What makes you think about that? It just occurred to me. Some of the stuff in the last case didn't line up with Kirby doing all that stuff. Here's what I really think happened in the last case. A recap. Here's what actually happened. With the motive in place of the second traitor being killed if not committed a murder, you decided to attack me. However, once you got everything ready, you realized that a kitchen knife would automatically point to one of the kitchen crew killing someone. In panic, you must have dropped the knife and went to go get a hunting knife because it would lead to more suspects. Kirby must have saw what you were doing and chloroformed you to stop you from doing what you were doing. And such to stop you, he took his own knife and fabricated a bunch of evidence to protect you. He must have figured out you were the second traitor. This is the truth of the case, Silver. When did you figure it out?
We figured it out after the fourth trial. Not only that, we noticed something even before then.
After the third trial, you started acting completely different. Acting more nervous and looking over everywhere. So, Silver? Tell us, are you the second traitor? Well, what can I say? You figured it out.
So we were right.
But what?
Look, I can't explain everything right now, but
I promise you, I didn't mean to. You didn't have bad intentions. I know.
you can tell us all about this after. No, we won't, because he's going to die!
What?
Sure and simple! The traitor revealed our identity! It's against the rules, so...
I guess you two will be facing this trial alone. It's punished. Hold on a minute. We didn't break a rule.
Say that again. Yeah, you said if we find out the traitor's identity by ourselves, they're free to explain everything.
And we did. You'd be executing Silver for no reason.
Yeah, that's right. You can't execute me. Fuck, why did we endorse that rule?
Fine, Silver. I suggest you be careful in what you do tell them. Right. We should really get on the case. There is, a few questions we want to ask before we do start. Sure, ask ahead.
Do you know who the mastermind is?
That I can answer quickly. No, I don't. I didn't even know Helpy was a traitor. I thought it was the only one. So you didn't even know Helpy was the traitor? No. From what I'd been told by Dementio, only he had access to knowing who the mastermind was. And even so, I've learned something recently. My own memories have been manipulated. What? I assumed that everything I've remembered up until this point was my own memory. I even knew that we were Hope's Peak Academy students before then. But apparently some of my own memories of that have been altered as well.
So the mastermind didn't trust you.
Essentially, especially with me being, well, we won't talk about that after. But let me just say, I was tricked. Dementio said this killing game was for the future. As you might not know, I can actually time travel. What? Yeah, but my methods are now frisked. I can't time travel anymore. I'm stuck in the past. Whenever something bad happens in the future, I come back to deal with stuff. I have no idea why I auditioned for Hope's Peak Academy, or why I was scouted, but one thing's for certain. One thing I do remember. Dementio came up to me one day, saying that this killing game would be for the sake of the future, and I was killing bad people.
But we're not bad people. Okay, well maybe except for Roselia, Helpy, and pushing it to Shiro, but still.
I know that now! Obviously. I figured that out after getting to know you all, and after Leaf died. Her reasons. Everyone's reason for killing. Even if it's still killing. I couldn't just... I just don't know.
Thank you, Silver, for telling us. You can talk about it later, but we should tell everyone while we can.
Right. Alright. So, let's actually begin our discussions now.
Finally! Oh my god, I thought that was gonna go on forever! So, now let's talk about the case at hand.
I think the first thing we should list off is... Can any of us be the killer? We probably don't need to go into any big-time discussions anytime soon, or any rebuttals, so let's just clean the facts. I don't think any of us are the killers.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, from what I'm seeing, you two spent the whole night together, which means you had alibis, and you were sleeping next to each other, so that means that if one of you moved, the other one would wake up because of you guys getting out of bed. And I was the last one to trigger the BDA, so I'm innocent too. Okay, so that means that the three of us are innocent.
Phew, thank God. I didn't want to have to test our friendship or our trust together. Because I know I can trust her. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to put our trust and friendship to the test. Who's dead?
That's what we need to figure out. So, should we start our first discussion with that? Yes. Let's start actually with what was found at the crime scene.
There was a lot of trinkets from the crime scene. From what I can tell, there was a bunch of smells. Weird ones.
Are you okay? I didn't smell anything that weird.
Well, I'm a dog, so my nose is a bit more sensitive.
Oh, I see now.
Aside from the smells that were just all around that basement, we also found a bunch of trinkets of the dead. Or at least some other people that we don't even know about.
The things we found were a piece of glass shard, assumably from Cuphead, rose petals belonging to probably Roselia using a petal attack, Snivy, some of the grass from a grass attack from Snivy probably. Goggles is goggles, and a scale from Shiro.
But those could be related to anyone. How do we figure out who's dead?
Perhaps that should be our first thing we should discuss.
Alright. Well, I guess we should discuss.
Yeah, let's go.
So, going over everything else on the crime scene, it was goggles is goggles, a glass shard from Cuphead,
Petals probably from Roselia, grass from a grass attack from Snivy,
and a white scale from Shiro.
Nothing particularly relates to anyone who's dead. Not even the observation of the body could tell us anything.
Not anything?
Nothing. The body was burned to a crisp, and only the head was showing burned flesh.
No, that's wrong! Wait a minute, Silver. What did you just say?
Something along the lines of there being only their fleshy head.
What is it really?
I think I would like to make an accusation to bring someone to the stand.
What? Already? You already know someone who's alive?
Mm-hmm. And think to a testimony both you provided, Silver, and one that Lasley provided.
Really?
Yes. Monokuma? Yes. We would formally like to have Cuphead come to the stand. Alright then, Donatello, snap those fingers. Did you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Ow! Ow! Congratulations! You got it correct! Cuphead is indeed not the victim!
What the fuck? My head!
Whoa! You got it right!
How did you get that right?
It just occurred to me. When we were investigating, didn't Lasley say she found a broken glass plate in the kitchen?
Yes, I did. It was in the garbage can.
Not only that, it could have been a glass shard from that plate could have been planted at the crime scene.
Surely that's not all you base that off of.
No, actually, it was your testimony.
Huh?
You said the head was fleshy, as in it was made out of flesh. So definitely like an animalistic or a human head. But Cuphead's head is made of glass.
Yeah, it is. Can someone tell me what's going on here? I'm a little confused.
Should we tell him everything?
Yeah, let's tell Cuphead everything. We spent the next few minutes explaining what had happened to Cuphead and our situation. And then we started to talk.
Okay, slow your roll. So from what I'm getting here is, you figured out Syl was the second traitor, and another murder happened, but the victim's unknown, and Silver tried to kill Lasley?
Please, don't take this the wrong way.
I'm not gonna judge you. I mean, after all, I should know more than anyone about someone who attempted a murder.
Yeah, I promise I'll tell you everything after this.
Radio, but that's not the point right now. We need to figure out who's dead and who killed.
Well, considering how, all three of us are safe, Cuphead, tell us your testimony. Where were you and what happened?
Alright. Let me explain. So, around the time of the murder, I guess, or no, it was just around night. I was in my room, still a little shaken up, thinking about stuff. Then all of a sudden, I heard a knock on my door. And, well, I opened it, and there was a note.
A note?
Yeah, a yellow piece of paper. I don't have it on me right now. I threw it when I got attacked.
You were attacked?
Yeah, alright, let me explain. The note said something along the lines of coming down to the basement. So I did. I entered the trash room, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what, I felt a weird wind, and then some gas, came out of nowhere. I felt groggy and woozy after that. I thought I was dead right there. So before anything, I grabbed the piece of paper, crumpled it up, and threw it as far as I could, in case you guys could find it. Don't know what happened after that. Next thing I know, I wake up in a dark space, and then I'm here.
I guess we could believe that, but unfortunately we have no basis off this note.
Wait, would you say you threw it in the direction of that mop?
Yeah, actually, right near the mop.
Would it happen to be this note?
Yeah, that's the note!
Really? Where'd you...
Right before the trial started, I found this in a janitor bucket. It must have been Cuphead, since it matched the description. Yellow piece of paper, and crumpled up.
And I highly doubt Cuphead planted that. His testimony lines up perfectly where you found it. So what does it say?
Well, let's read it. To whoever this may concern, I have a plan
to end this killing game. Meet me in the trash room at 11:55 p.m. We're ending this now. Signed, Savior.
Cuphead, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. I was desperate at the time, okay? The motive and everything else. I thought if we can truly end the killing game, then maybe we wouldn't have to see anyone else die.
Okay, so can we assume that everyone else got a note?
We didn't get one.
Neither did I.
Well, that's why we need other testimonies, right? Cuphead's right. We need more testimony if we're gonna figure this out.
Yes, but sadly, we don't know who else is dead.
Come on, guys, we have to figure this out.
I know you guys said that the body was crushed in the hydraulic press, but
Come on, there was anything about the body? Come on, what made you think it was me?
well, specifically a distinct feature about the body. It had a head of flesh. Yours was glass.
Oh, I guess that would immediately point to it not being me.
Yeah. Cuphead, although we know you're not the victim, you could still be the killer. I hope you're fine with that. I kind of insulted that you calling me a possible suspect, but I guess you don't have any way to prove my testimony as fact yet, so I'm fine with that. But how do we figure out who next to rule off? My observations of the body did prove one other thing once we pulled it out.
Okay, and that is, if you have an idea, shoot it.
The reasoning might make all of you mad at me. Please not that reasoning, Silver.
Well, I don't care. We need more testimony. The stupidest testimony. We just need anything at this point.
Alright. I would like to call Goggles to the stand.
Alrighty then, you made your choice. Time to summon the Goggle Dick. Dementio.
With pleasure.
Ow. You are correct. Goggles is not the victim. Also, yeah, there are your goggles back. I can't bear to see your forehead. Rude, but, guys, what happened?
We gotta really explain this to the Gogglehead.
We kind of have to.
Well, before we do, Silva, how do you know that Goggles was alive? Well, although an educated guess at the time, I concluded that the victim was most likely a girl.
How? Didn't you say the body was burnt beyond belief?
Let's just say I looked in a certain, area.
You did not, did you? You didn't look in the geek.
Alright, you know what? That's it.
Ow.
Stop that.
Sorry.
Anyway, Goggle Brain, let's catch you up on what we know.
Oh, I think I got it now.
So, Goggles, is there anything you can remember about the crime? Anything could help us.
Did you get a note like Cuphead too? Oh, now you mention it, yeah, I don't have it with me, of course. I think I got invited to the trash room at around 11?
11? That's like a whole hour!
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's something along the lines of something, ending the killing game, you're a savior.
Same thing as in this note, except the time is off. Do you think everyone received an invite?
I don't know.
Alright, well, we decided that the victim's a girl, and yeah, what's next?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that leaves us with like 3 suspects left, right? On who the victim is?
If I'm not mistaken, our last 3 suspects are the following: Shiro,
Snivy, and Roselia. Who could really be the victim in all this? Wait a minute, before we do, Goggles, what happened when you stepped into the trash room?
Oh, well, I felt a weird gust of wind, and then this weird gas stuff blew at me. Same thing with me.
Alright, so at least that lines up. So that means that was probably the truth.
I don't know.
Well, let's look at the evidence. Alright, so from what I've heard, the evidence so far is that you found all trinkets at the crime scene. Come on, there has to have been something else. I guess this is our next point of discussion. Let's just blurt things out until something happens.
At this point, we're desperate for anything. Let's discuss.
So, we were the easy ones to figure out.
So now we have to figure out which of the 3 remaining people are the victim.
3 remaining people are Shiro, Snivy, and Roselia.
Come on, there has to be something that can lead to
a culprit, or the victim, or something. Maybe signs of a struggle?
I doubt this has anything to do with it, or maybe it does, but maybe the weird smells I smelled has something to do with it and can help identify someone.
I agree with that. I agree. I think you said that you smelled a lot of weird things.
That stuff was mainly all over, like, the press and mainly in the oven. Or the furnace, whatever you want to call it.
Speaking of which, why was the body in the furnace first? You said there was proof of that, right?
Yeah, there was a big spot in the furnace. It was, like, fleshy. And there was also some disgusting chemical in there.
Why was the body put in the furnace, though? It had to have been in there before the press, right?
I guess so. But Cuphead, you're distracting them.
Oh, rat, sorry.
It's fine, but... Bosley, what are you talking about? The smell's gonna help identify someone?
Right. You might not know this, but I know. Since I've lived with a grass type Pokemon my whole life. Oh, I did.
Wait, what are you implying?
The thing you could have smelled in the hydraulic press and the room and the furnace would be remnants of a grass type Pokemon.
What? Interesting. How can you tell?
This is mainly with grass type Pokemon, but each of them has a certain scent to them. I hear bay leaf smell very spicy, and if there are remnants of that, it's most likely that the victim is a grass type Pokemon.
I guess that's true. Wait, does that mean that...
Yes. We would like to call Shiro to the stand.
Alrighty then! Summoning time!
Ow!
Correctamundo! Shiro is indeed...
Not the victim! What's going on? What do you people want?
Shiro, I know you don't like us right now, but let us explain.
We have to explain everything to Shiro.
Don't want to cooperate with you people. Not after what happened with her. But I want to live. So I'll help you through this.
Thank you. Now tell us what happened. Did you receive a note?
Yeah, I did actually. I went to the trash room at around 11:30, I think. It was around the 11 time gap, or heck, maybe during the 10s.
Okay, and...
A gust of wind came up with some gas on it, and that's when I got knocked out.
Same testimony, except it's possible Shiro was called earlier.
Right. So, with that out of the way, what's left?
Well, ultimately, we're down to two last people. Roselia and Snivy.
So, one of them is the victim.
Have you identified a possible killer yet?
No, we haven't.
Come on, we're so close. What happened? Who is it? The victim was thrown in the furnace. So, there has to be a Kusama, right? Right?
Wait a minute.
You got something we all do?
I know who the victim is.
Who is it?
Before I even say it.
I would like to call Snivy to the stand.
Boo. Is that your last guess?
What are you doing? We haven't even barely discussed about the possibility of them too.
If Leslie trusts it, I trust it. Summon her.
Alrighty then, Dementio.
We all watched as Dementio snapped his fingers. However, what appeared shocked us.
No.
That's a death portrait, which means...
Don't tell me that.
Ah!
Huh? Ow. Oh my god!
Now we're just joshing you. Of course Snivy's alive.
You guessed the last person who's not dead.
Congratulations! If Snivy's dead, then that means...
Ow, what's this thing doing in my seat?
Okay, someone's gonna have to catch me up. What happened?
The victim in this case
is the ultimate florist, Roselia.